Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Back at it again on a Sunday after the Watch Party podcast last night, after UFC 322, and it was a good night. I feel like overall. I mean, the title fights, those weren't the best. Entertainment wise, what's up, Infinity? Yeah, entertainment wise, those weren't the best, but we still got to watch some good fights. What was it? The 4 fights, starting with the featured prelim and then the 3 first fights on the main card, all finishes, all good shit. So that was good. But then we came into the title fights that, of course, are longer by 10 extra minutes, 2 extra rounds, and yeah, we had to sit through all of that, which is fine because the rest of the fights kind of went quick. But it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things that it's just tough to get through sometimes, and it's disappointing just because you see all these exciting things that got you amped up. We're fucking jumping around in here. Clark's out of his seat. We're yelling and screaming, and then you get to a fight where it's like, oh no, this is just dragging. And, I appreciate the talent, the dominance of Shevchenko, but man, it's just rough to get through sometimes. That's all. That's really all I can say about it. But, we're gonna dive in deeper and talk about the actual fights and what happened and, my feelings on them and whatnot. But those are just kind of the few things that happened, and, other stuff was going on throughout the fights, out in the background and shit too. So we'll just talk about that for a quick second. But before we get too far, we got crazy with the Noctane smelling salts last night. And what's up, Tyler? And yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Noctane, and I gotta take a quick little whiff because I am dragging a little bit today after last night. And on top of that, yeah, I just don't want to go to work tomorrow. So I'm over here dreading the time flying by because it feels like today just flew. So Noctane, it's time to wake me up. Noctane smelling salts, fresh bottles. I'm scared, but we're going to do this. Here we go. Oh, there it is. It's always the second one now. Oh, at least it didn't get my eyes too crazy. It's always the second one. I don't know what it is. It doesn't hit me the first try, and then it sneaks up on me on that second one. But there's your Noctane smelling salts, and there's my little boost of alertness. It wakes me up nicely and keeps me alert. So you can use them for various different reasons. Scan that QR code or hit that link in the description below. Go get yourself some Noctane smelling salts. Now my eyes watering a little bit, but I feel better. So thank you, Noctane, for the sponsorship. I got 2 brand new bottles. I'm pretty happy about that. So we'll be going strong for a little while. And yeah, thanks for the sponsorship. Yes, Tyler, for sure. Protest being the first person to knock out all these guys is crazy. He's definitely got a resume going, and it's a good one. And we're going to get to talking about all those here in just a second. But before we get into those fights, I didn't really prep anything for it because I kind of forgot about it while I was just thinking about all the actual fights that happened. So I didn't prep anything for it. So I'm not going to get into it when I actually get into the normal, change of scene and all that. But before we move over to the scene and start talking about UFC 322's actual fights, we're going to talk about the fight outside of the cage. He looked like he was chilling. He definitely did. He's good at doing that. Just kind of having some moments where it always makes him look like he's doing, like the smoking moment backstage after the fight last time in the post-fight press conference, and he's just sitting chilling and sparking up a cig. He's good at that. But or a farmer, yeah, 100%. I wanted to say that, Tyler, but not everybody knows what that means. I don't know why I know what it means, but I was also, it's just brain rot terms sometimes that I'm like, maybe I'm too old to be saying that shit, but it always comes across my head. But yeah, so Prates is good at that. But yeah, so the fight outside of the cage, of course, better than 6'7". That shit won't go away, bro. John Pork should have gotten a performance bonus. I was about to talk about that. What's up, Johnny? Welcome in. Yeah, I was about to talk about that. Man, Dillon Danis is just a fucking idiot. But I will say this. So he just can't stay out of the way of trouble. He's always finding it. It finds him. He finds it, whatever it is. And not all the time, not all the time is it something that, I want to say, not all the time is it something that is 1,000% his fault, but it almost always is 1,000% his fault. He's just such a fucking clout chaser, man. And he just wants to show and prove that he's so tough and so fucking cool all the time. And he's just not, man. He's just not. He's annoying. He never shuts the fuck up. He thinks he's the richest, fucking most good looking, best fighter in the world. And he's not. He's not. I mean, maybe he's richer than we think. He always talks about how he doesn't need the money, but he scams the fuck out of people, telling them if they do this and do that, that he's going to give them like $5,000 or $1,000. And it's like, come on, man. And he never does it. And he gets asked about it all the time. And he just claims that it's just stupid. None of that matters. But what matters is he got his ass whooped. He got his ass whooped in the crowd. And here's the part that I don't agree with. But at the same time, I kind of feel like he somewhat deserves it. But he's that type of person that's never going to fucking learn his lesson until he's gone and can't learn the lesson, really. Because he might step across that line one of these days. A lot of people say don't take these things too seriously, but when you see fucking 6'7", oh Jesus Christ, I didn't even mean to say it. When you literally see like 7 or 8 people jumping one dude, because I don't know if he had anybody with him, but he was about to get stomped out. No, he legit got stomped out in the crowd, DJ Infinity. Like, I'm reading your name straight off of here. Like, I don't know what you stupid. You know what I mean, though. He legit got stomped out. There's multiple angles of this fight that are just crazy. And there's one angle. There it is, Tyler. There's one angle where you see him get hit multiple times. He's getting kicked. I see somebody going over and stomping, and I don't know. Oh shit. I don't know if they were actually getting to him, but it sure as shit looked like he was getting stomped out. But he got his ass handed to him. And what the fuck was he wearing? Did you see the fucking shoes he was wearing? Some clown fucking shoes, some Ronald McDonald shoes. I don't know what the fuck's happening, bro. That's what I'm saying. He's one of those stupid fucks that thinks he's so cool, wants to be fucking an A-list celebrity so bad and get whatever clout he can. But yeah, John Pork whooped his ass for sure. I had heard about this dude before, but I wasn't really paying attention. And he was wearing someone else's boot print. Yeah, well, that too.
Bruh.
That's 100% true. Nobody was wearing whatever. I mean, I don't think he could actually. He probably kicked them off. I saw one where they were pulling him away, and he's trying to put this stupid gigantic flipper back on his foot. I'm like, bro, you know you're gonna get in a fight. That was your intention, because he's walking around taunting people and fucking looking for it. But here's the opposite side, okay? I got off track with talking shit. I got off track. Here's the other thing. Listen, I like Khabib. He's always been a favorite of mine. I don't necessarily like the rest of his team. Flipper, I almost it looked like a fucking flipper. I need to find that video and send it to you, because it was ridiculous watching him try to put this thing on while he's got like 4 fucking bouncers like grabbing him in every direction, trying to yank him away. Here's the thing, like I was saying, I like Khabib. He's always been one of my favorite fighters. People can talk all the shit they want. The guys were talking shit last night. Josh absolutely hates him, and I don't. The reasoning for hating them, it has nothing to do with Nothing to do with anything that fucking matters. It's dumb. All of it's dumb. So I respect some fighters for their fighting capabilities only. Everything else is what it is. You know, Khabib team is always ready to go. They are always ready to go. But here's my problem. I like some of the other guys on that team, but not all of them. A lot of the Dagestani guys are just like Dillon Danis. They want to go after and fight people because, but the difference is that's how they grew up. They have this whole respect thing. They have, but some of them take it way out of hand. And the way that they do it is they technically they're jumping people all the time. We've seen them do it in the past. It's what basically sparked the controversy between Khabib and Conor, because of them kind of jumping Artem Lobov. But he was, he was taunting them too and acting stupid too, because, but he got caught slipping by himself and he paid the price. And, Conor had to get revenge, and that's when all that shit popped off. So, but the thing is I just don't like the way they do it. Cheap shotting people. It's like fucking, I've seen that happen before. Jumping people, I've seen that happen before. And it's like, you guys are all fighters, man. All of you. So like, if any one of you are that damn strong, but you're in the scenario they're in, I get it. At least no bus windows. Yeah. But it just, I don't know. This whole thing is fucking stupid. It was funny to watch Dillon Danis get his ass whooped again. Because remember when he got his ass whooped that one time by the bouncer, he's bleeding on the ground, looking around like he doesn't know what to do while he's in a knee brace because he's an idiot and not listening. And he gets thrown around. Whether that bouncer was justified in that or not, I don't know. But knowing Dillon Danis and his stupid mouth, see, Tyler, here we go. This is all the shit. I try to stay away from this stuff. Everybody can have their own opinion. I try to stay away from it. But I get it. Khabib's crew going to be in a remake of the Warriors movie. But I find it all funny, Tyler. I mean, I do. I understand where people are coming from with this stuff. I just, God, a lot of it is just, it's so overplayed. It's played out sometimes. And I just feel like, but you know what? If you like Dillon Danis, you're gonna talk the shit about them, like I'm talking shit about him. But I think he's shown and proved how much of a fucking idiot he is. Yeah, he's been he's been great in some of his fights. We obviously know he's a great jiu-jitsu guy, but I mean, he never has really fought a real MMA fight. He's just fought cans, and he's never lasted that long. And any of his wins, he's won quickly. We've never really seen a lot out of him, and he's just not fought the best of opponents. So we've seen him box, and that was fucking atrocious as well. So it's like, what do you really? I mean, it sounds like he's a gym warrior. But what am I? Who am I to say any of this shit? Because I don't fucking fight, and I'm just stating what I've seen. That's all, and it's annoying. Danis can get out of here too. Yeah, and I get sick of hearing from him. I get sick of hearing his voice when he's on Hawani. He's just constantly trolling and rage baiting. That's all he does, man. And it's just fucking. It gets to a point where it's so annoying. But I also don't like the way that Khabib's team handles things a lot of times. But if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And Danis likes to poke that bear, and they like to kick the shit out of bears. So now he's permanently banned from the UFC. So he's trying to get into the UFC as a fighter. You're not going to get into the UFC as a fighter if you can't keep the peace as a spectator. It's not going to happen. And every time he's there, he's causing problems. So feed him to a YouTuber. Unfortunately, he has the kind of skills that will beat a normal YouTuber that thinks they can fight. And we've seen it happen already. It's just the higher level of his sport, the sport that he claims to be a part of, he won't beat them. Maybe some of them, but he's not going to be, it's not going to be that easy. And we're never going to know because he can't keep his shit together long enough to where when he's finally somewhat in a position to possibly be justified in asking to get into the UFC, he fucks it up and does stupid shit like this. So if you're a Dillon Danis fan, and I would love to know who is, yeah, he fucked it up for himself. Oh shit. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because of all the craziness that went on and the stupidity. And then all of Makhachev's team, like all of his team, had to watch it from a TV, like we all did while they were there. It's like, come on, he should go troll Khabib's team at PFL events. Maybe he can get in there too. Yeah, let's let him get banned everywhere. Keep doing the dumb shit so you get banned from everywhere, and we don't have to see your stupid ass anymore. BKFC, he wouldn't survive. Put him in any organization that he can't grapple. We saw what happened when he tried to box. Now, that's what I mean by he didn't really get handled by Logan Paul, but he definitely got beat. And yeah, that's what happens when you're just you're great at grappling and jiu-jitsu and stuff, but yeah, you're not a striker. He thinks he can kick people's asses, but every time we see him in an altercation, he's getting his ass whooped. So anyway, Dillon Danis is a moron. That's really all there is to that. And PFL are big fans. I mean, he did fight in Bellator, right? 1 fight or 2 fights in Bellator, something like that. And then, yeah, just nothing. And then he goes and fights MMA for Misfits. Like, why? Why is that? And he doesn't need the money, right? But he's fighting in Misfits. Like, what are we doing? And now he's set up to have another fight in Misfits against Anthony Taylor, which is the guy that he fought in the parking or got smacked by in the parking lot of during some event that they were at. I think it was a Misfits press conference, actually. So anyway, that's Dillon Danis and his stupid ass. We'll see what comes of that, but he's definitely, as of now, banned from the UFC, straight from Dana White's mouth. Dana White did fess up to the fact that it was his fault. He said it should have never happened. And Lingerie Football League. Dana White confessed that, it shouldn't have happened and he's to blame. He said it's his fault because he got warned that he was out there moving around doing dumb shit. And Dana said, well, if he's got a ticket, make him sit in his seat and watch him. Other than that, leave him alone. And they did, and then we saw what happened. So that's why he's banned now. So good luck getting in the UFC now, buddy. I mean, excitement talks. If he goes out there and does all kinds of crazy shit, maybe one day Dana will change his mind. But as of now, his thoughts of going into the UFC are gone. We can't even talk about it anymore because he's fucking banned. So let's move on and talk about the real fights that happened. And let's get to UFC 322. Shevchenko versus Zhang in the co-main event for the women's flyweight title. Della Maddalena versus Makhachev in the main event for the men's welterweight division. And yeah, the poster were the worst fights. Not the worst, okay? I don't mean that in the way that they were garbage fights to watch in all aspects, but entertainment wise, they were not fun because while it was like the main event was like Chimaev versus DDP. That's basically what it was like. And but DDP had a lot of clout around him because of all the wins that he had gotten and the people he had beaten. Della just got the title, didn't fight for a while, and then comes in and just gets beat right away. So not even one defense. And unfortunately, that's what I was afraid of when it came to him having that title. I knew Bilal would drop it quick. I felt like there was no way he was going to be a long reigning champion with the other guys that are out there ready to fight him. Maybe he wanted to get a beating. What? What was your fight of the night? That's tough. Full on fight of the night. I think because of what went into it, I would say Protest and Edwards, because we saw Edwards actually having some success in that first round. And what was I gonna say? Wellmaker versus Ewing. Yeah. So like okay. So I'm thinking of main event. I was thinking of main events, but I guess overall, yeah, Wellmaker versus Ewing was good for sure. That was a good overall fight. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking main event. Damn. Yeah, you're right. But I did like Protez versus Edwards in the main event, because in the main card, I mean, because you know, Leon had some success in that first round. He basically won the first round, but Protez still wasn't showing, you know, anything. He just wasn't doing much to come back with things. And you know, it was like one of those, is he gonna bring out some kind of surprise attack like that spinning back elbow and knock out Leon after Leon's been winning? And you know, he waited till the second round, and then he got in there and he did it, and he knocked him out. So that part was good. Wellmaker versus Ewing was definitely good. I wasn't expecting that at all coming from Ewing. So we'll get into that one in a minute. Rodriguez versus Kopylov was pretty good as well as an overall fight. Yeah, Protez is good, man. I like him. I've liked him from the beginning. The one loss that didn't do anything for me. I did like RoboCop and Kopylov though. That was a pretty damn good fight. The rest of those fights, it's tough because they were, you know, they were over quick. Bo Nichols' fight was good. You know, he got that head kick in the third round. Protez versus Morales, yeah, that would definitely be a good one. So yeah, I mean, there was a few good fights in there, but I do think Wellmaker and Ewing was really good overall. I just felt like it was a bit disappointing to see Wellmaker kind of stumble in little ways here and there, because I you know, I don't think that this is in no way fashion a fraud check moment. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I just wished that Wellmaker would have been able to turn it around at one point, because I felt like he could have done a little more, but it looked like he was just stuck. He hit a wall and he couldn't push past it. So we'll get into it here in just a minute. Let's start with the first fight of the night. This one was definitely not fight of the night. It wasn't very fun to watch for the most part, because Slaviklaus looked like his legs didn't work. He wasn't sprawling at all, just getting taken down over and over again. And I mean, even look at his positioning right now in that picture on the right. It was just weird, the way he was fighting. So with the ankle sleeves and the knee sleeves and shit, I'm just wondering if he was injured of some sort or what. Protez versus JDM, and Morales gets a title shot unless Ian Gary destroys Bilal. Yeah, there's a lot to think about, and I actually have some stuff to talk about when we get to these fights, because I added in a little something extra in here for the main card fights, and I'm going to try to find a way to make it a little better so that we can actually talk about these points a little more, with me not forgetting all the time and struggling to find the information to make sure that I'm right. Because a lot of times I like to look things up to make sure that what we're talking about is correct, and that we're not just speculating and, you know, stuff like that. But you guys seem to be on point most of the time. Yeah, that was one thing I was going to talk about too. Dana might have Usman get the next shot. That's insane. I mean, Slaviklaus looks like he's never seen a wrestling mat every fight. No, I know that's true, but this one seemed a little more. It was so evident that, like, it was so bad, man. It was just so bad. I felt bad for him, but I just think that, like, he's at that point. He was looking good for a little bit, but he's just not. He's not putting it together. Whatever's holding him. I mean, he's got a 3-6 record in the UFC now. That's his third loss in a row. He lost to Tom Nolan, Terrence McKinney, and now Mateus Camilo. So he's had one win in his last 6 fights. So it's tough. As if Usman gets a title shot, they're wasting the last years of the arguable GOAT's prime. Yeah, I don't know about that one. But yeah, there's not much else to talk about with this fight, so we'll move on to Basinger Susukairev versus Eric McConico. And Susukairev, man, what the fuck was he doing in that first round? Standing against the cage until McConico basically got near him. It wasn't even like a sneak attack, you know, rope-a-dope bullshit. Islam is arguably the GOAT. Oh, I thought you were saying Usman was. People try to say Usman's still the GOAT. No, I'm not sure about that anymore. But Yeah, but those are the, I hate to say it. I'm trying not to jump ahead too far with that one, but I hate to say it. I just feel like those are the type of fights that they tend to put Islam in matches with, are the guys that are either coming up in weight, or just not the top levels. I don't think Usman's that very top level anymore. He's looked pretty good, but yeah, I just don't think he's at the levels that these other guys are trending to be at or already at. So I don't know, that one's tough. But Susukairev, that first round was weird. I don't know what the fuck he was kind of thinking with that one. And then he finally came back, turned it around, and started really showing his skills and everything that we've seen from him before. I just think that first round was kind of a miss for him. But he came back and was able to retain that undefeated record. He's now 11-0, 2-0 in the UFC with that win over Eric Nolan in the second round, and now the TKO win against Eric McConaughey. Two Erics going down. What the fuck, man? Putting shame on my name. Those Leon losses look worse and worse every month. Yeah, Leon, man. But McConaughey did the drunk dance before he fell over, and it was a tough one to watch, because it's like, damn. But Susukairev put in the work, and he was a huge favorite, so he should have. I kind of thought he should have got it done sooner, but McConaughey hung in there, and yeah, I think Susukairev definitely gonna be one of those guys that we're gonna have to keep an eye on. I'm just wondering when he gets tested with that undefeated record, what's gonna happen then, because he made that little mistake in that first round, and if it was against a different opponent, they might have jumped on that a little quicker. So he can't be doing that kind of sluggish bullshit. I just don't understand what he was doing. It was fucking weird. If he was trying to pull some slick shit like some Masvidal hands behind the back, come out and get a knockout shit, he failed miserably on that one. But you never know you never know what was happening. It might have just been a brain fart on his part, and whatever, he got the win. So and he got it in a good way with that KO. So moving over to the women, we had Fatima Klein versus Angela Hill, and for the first time, not the first time ever, but I mean for the first time in a while, and the first time for me that I've noticed, I thought Angela Hill was gonna finally get finished on the feet. She started to get wobbled here and there, and I kind of thought maybe Klein was going to be able to get her out of there, but she's hung in there. She is tough, and she still has that dog in her. But now she's 13-16 in the UFC, which is crazy. 0-2 in her last two fights. She lost to Yasmin Lucindo in her last fight. All these decisions, man. I mean, because people can't seem to finish her, all of her fights go to decision. She has 12 wins and 14 losses by decision, which is so crazy. Angela Hill's going to fight till she's 50. How is she still employed? Because she's one of those girls that she's like somewhat of a gatekeeper, in the sense that if you can get past her, I don't even know if I can say that anymore. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. They Neil Magny of wmma. That's the truth. Neil Magny as well is kind of like that. Klein is a future champion. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I feel like it would have been a bit more impressive if she would have been able to finish. She had her on wobbly legs. She had her on wobbly legs. I feel like she could have jumped in and gotten that finish, but she didn't. But yeah, she looked damn good against a girl who never is hard to get out of there. And she took her to decision and beat her. So good for Fatima Klein. She gets that win, moves to 9-1. And next up, we got Pat Sabatini versus Chepe Mariscal. I mean, we were talking about Mariscal on Thursday and how he looked like he was doing pretty well. He said the weight cut was going good. Said he was, super ready. I mean, a lot of these guys say that, but he wasn't in an interview or anything. He was just talking on a live, and I kind of had some I kind of had some confidence in him, but Pat Sabatini, man, he just did not let Mariscal get up easily. Chepe just was struggling on the ground, as we can see in that picture on the right. Sabatini got that cut on his head. I don't even remember how that happened. I just remember when he was arguing when they were on the ground at the end of the round. Yeah, Sabatini's definitely crafty. I was doubting him in this fight. I'm not even sure why. I think it's, let's see. I don't even remember why I was doubting him, because he was on a 2-fight win streak. Yeah, he's got a bunch of grappling matches in there. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Now he's on a 3-fight win streak. So I don't even know why I was doubting him, but I was. And I was thinking, I was kind of high on Mariscal, but man, he needs to work on that takedown defense and work on ways to get up, because he was not having good luck in that category. So Chepe Mariscal gets the loss here, moves to 18-7. Sabatini moves to 21-5 overall, because Chepe had some aura. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, he was on a big win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-fight win streak. So I mean, he was doing well, but yeah, he dropped it to Sabatini, and I mean, all of his fights except for one was decision wins, and then he turns around and loses by decision. So yeah, for sure, I think that might have been why I was a little high on Chepe, but it was a near even fight, you know, so it was tough to kind of guess what was going to happen there. But we saw it. It's over. Next fight, rankings next for Sabatini, I think. Yeah, more than likely. Man, Chepe could have done something for himself in that fight, man. It sucks. But moving on, we got Kyle Dacus versus GM3, and Gerald Meerschaert, man, he needs to I don't know, he needs to do something, because he did not look good in this fight at all. Dacus came out and just handled him quickly and easily. Gets the win 50 seconds into the first round, wins it by sub. That makes GM3's record, makes him go to 4 losses in a row. I don't know that the UFC is going to keep him around, but you never know. He's one of those guys. He's just one of those guys they keep around, and I'm not exactly sure why. He's not the most exciting fighter in the world. He doesn't talk a lot of shit. I respect him to a certain extent, but his record is now 12-13. Not as bad as Angela Hill's, but it's pretty bad. So 4 losses in a row is tough. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but Kyle Dacus, after being gone for a little while, comes back looking good in the UFC and gets it done quickly in the first round. He's now 4-4 in the UFC, and he's on a 2-fight win streak after that great win over Michel Pereira, where he beat him in 43 seconds in the first round and got a performance of the night bonus. Then he turns around, but he beat him by TKO or KO, and then turns around and beats Meerschaert by submission. If it wasn't for all of those knockouts that happened in the middle of everything, maybe Dacus would have got another performance of the night bonus. But that's 2 wins in a row for him, both in the first round and both finishes. So Dacus is looking to move up and get some higher level opponents and keep that streak going. Next up is the fight we were talking about. He should have got 50K over Bo. I don't know, man. That head kick KO, whew, that's excitement, man. The way that went down. So I think that's why Bo was able to get that bonus. I think because those knockouts all happened in a row, that's why they all got the bonuses, you know, because it was just back to back to back shit, and it was good. All of it was good, and Bo was the reason why that started. So who knows, but Dacus, I think, definitely deserved something. But before the kick, it was kind of a stinker. Oh, got you. Also made the main card feel slower. Yeah, well, that's just, I mean, it was only the one fight in the prelims, and then it was the 3 fights in a row in the main card. So it was trending to be good, but then we hit the women, and we all know how that goes, especially when they want to be like super technical, which makes sense for a title fight and a 5-round fight, but damn, we got nothing in those fights. But Malcolm Wellmaker unfortunately loses and drops his first loss in the UFC and his first loss in his career. Like I was saying earlier, well, Ewing coming in on what, like a 2 fight night main event. That might make sense, honestly. The way that things are looking now, that might make sense. But they have very few women to even put in on pay-per-views, and you know, with how many times she's won a title and defended, I think that's why they keep her there. But yeah, definitely never going to be a main event in a pay-per-view unless they're super desperate, and they probably should stick to fight nights, but they got to have some women in there sometimes, and with her having title fights, that's why they keep that going, I would assume. I forgot my orange. Just noticed that. Anyway, Ewing coming in on what, like a 2-day notice or some shit. Man, he looked damn good. He definitely came to fight and definitely came to prove something with the way he fought Malcolm Wellmaker. Wellmaker, if you notice, he lands that right hand early in that first round, and when it barely turned Ewing's head, you saw the disbelief in his eyes. At least I did. I was just like, oh shit, he landed that shot and it did nothing, and you saw him pause and just kind of wait and be like, oh fuck, it didn't work. That usually I'm celebrating by now, and it didn't happen. So I mean, he did get some good shots in on Ewing, but Ewing is tough. He held strong, and he implemented his game plan, and it worked, and he was able to really just kind of overtake Wellmaker and not let him, he focuses too much on the KO. Yeah, and that was kind of what everyone was talking about. You know, sometimes when you get KO after KO like that, that's all you think about, and that's the way you think every time you land that shot that it's over. But you're always gonna meet somebody who's got a fucking hard, stupid head and can take those shots. And Ewing wound up being that first one. They win all 3 rounds. It was a unanimous decision win for Ewing, but for him coming in on such a fucking short notice, and fighting somebody like Wellmaker, who had, once again, all that aura around him, and with the first round knockouts and how good he looked against everyone, you would think, okay, he's getting a new opponent, someone coming in for the first time in the UFC. I was thinking he was definitely going to get another win like that, but he didn't. He's got to be like CP. He doesn't chase the KO. It just, yep, he's got to be able to learn how to sit back, relax, and wait for the opening and be strategic with it, while still throwing shots in between, but not maybe going for that KO right away. He had the 2 in a row first round finishes. Almost all of his fights were finishes in the first round, and TKO wins, you know, with that right hook. He had 2 performance of the night bonuses in a row as well for those 2 fights in the UFC. He finished the Contender Series fight the same way with a right hook in the first round. But it can't always go that way, and he said he was ready to be tested. He said he was looking forward to when he can show off more of his skills, but unfortunately, I mean, he got thrown around, as you can see in that picture on the left side. He got thrown, hardcore thrown by Ewing, and I mean, he hip tossed him like he was nothing, and that's concerning. And on top of all of that, he just didn't have an answer for what Ewing was throwing at him, and I don't see Ewing as a top level performer at the moment. You could see a few holes in his game. I think Wellmaker just made him look good because he was just stifled. So I'm not doubting Wellmaker to be able to come back and keep doing big things, but I think he's got some stuff to work on, and maybe this loss early in his UFC career is what he might need. He might have needed that to be able to get past this expectation of getting a first round knockout every single time you go out there and fight. So he got taken into some deep waters and he came up short. Now it's time to get to work and really, you know, learn from this and turn it all around. Humble pie's correct, Infinity. And sometimes that's what they need. And I don't think he was I don't know that he was overly confident in the way that you think of people that are overly confident and get shut down. I just think that it was just expectations, and you know, he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy, but you know, that shit'll get in your head when everyone's hyping it up and you start believing your own hype and you think it can't happen, and then it does. He seemed pretty realistic, but when he saw that shot didn't happen, that was a spark right there, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna lose this fight. That's what played in my head when that happened, because he just looked scared, not scared, but like he saw a ghost when he noticed that shot that finishes everybody didn't finish Ewing. So we'll see how he bounces back. That's what I always talk about. How do they bounce back when they're undefeated and they finally get their first loss? So at least he took it to the third round. He didn't get finished, but he didn't look great. So yeah, we'll see how he bounces back, and good for Ewing, man. I'm excited to see what he does next, if he can start getting some finishes, and we'll see how tough he is against you know, some other opponents in there. Next up, we had, oh shit, I was disappointed in this one, man. Blanchfield versus Cortez. Cortez was riding high as well, looking good coming into this fight. I mean, she always looks good, but fighting wise, she was looking good coming into this one. But you know, we've seen her get hit before, we've seen her lose before, and once again, maybe the mental thing of, hey, I've beaten this girl before and I can do it again, came into play. As a New Yorker, I was happy. Oh yeah, I get it. No, I like Blanchfield. It was definitely impressive from Blanchfield. I like her. It's just I was rooting for Cortez. She is an Arizona girl, and I'm from Arizona, on top of being a baddie. Not that plays into whether but you know what I mean. We all know. But Tracy's had a lot of clout around her lately. She's been out there in the public eye quite a bit, and she's pretty popular. So oh shit, I think she's a good fighter, man. I think she has some good boxing. She definitely has great wrestling. I just think that you know, she's still got work to do. I don't think she's a finished fighter at all. Don't we all, Tyler? Don't we all? Wouldn't mind getting stuck in a triangle or something. But yeah, she was, you know, she's 6-2 now in the UFC. That was only her second loss in the UFC. So it's not like she's lost a bunch. She's only lost to Rose Namajunas and now Erin Blanchfield. So it's not like she's lost a ton. I think she's definitely shown a lot of good things. Yeah, I said the same thing. At least she didn't get her eyelash smacked off this time. She was coming off a win over Vivian Araujo, where she won by unanimous decision there. But before that, she lost to Rose, where she got her eyelash punched off of her face. But she had beaten Jasmine Jasdavicius as well. Melissa Gatto, Justine Kish. She said, you know, she was doing well. And she's only got those 2 losses. So she bounced back from her first loss in the UFC to beat Vivian Araujo, and now she's back to being in the losing column. And you know, I wouldn't say that she tapped quick, but I mean, I think she realized right away she got insurance. She must have got some better glue this time, because that punch on the left picture there, holy shit, that's a hell of a punch right there. But yeah, that submission was nasty too. Blanchfield really locked that shit in. It was a weird position, but you also see that she had her arm trapped. So there's not much that Cortez really could have done. And she recognized that early, and instead of getting injured or going to sleep, you know, she tapped. But no shame in that. She put up a fight. It just, you know, she made it to almost the third round. Actually, she was at the end of the second round there. Blanchfield strikes like Pena. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I do like Blanchfield better than Pena though. I do not like her celebration though. It is fucking annoying. The throwing of the mouth guard, looking like she's a toddler throwing a fit. I don't like that. It looks, it's cringy as fuck. But I mean, good for her. She's celebrating. Maybe that's her way to celebrate. But she looked, I mean, the look of almost crying while throwing your mouthpiece like that, it's weird. I don't get it. But you know, they're stuck in the moment. It's emotion. Pena's stance and swing is more awkward. Yeah, it definitely is more awkward. But I think Blanchfield has an awkward frame. She's kind of got some broad shoulders. And I think her frame is just kind of makes her awkward, and I think that might be where Tyler's coming from with that. More refined Pena. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. She's good though. She's good overall. I mean, she was what was she coming off of? I can't remember. I always she was coming off the win over Rose Namajunas. So, you know, MMA math worked that time because she beat Rose and in her last fight, and Tracy's last loss was against Rose. So MMA math worked on that one. But rear naked choke at the end of the second round, 4 minutes and 44 seconds in, Erin Blanchfield gets the win over Tracy Cortez. And for the women's flyweight division, that might have put definitely a submission specialist, that might have put her in the talks for getting a title shot possibly. I think Tracy was looking at that possibly as well if she would have gotten a good finish against Blanchfield. So, you know, these women's divisions aren't that deep, and Shevchenko's running out of opponents. She's next for Natalia Silva. Okay. But you never know how it's all going to work out and pan out, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll wait and see what those rankings updates look like come Tuesday. That's the only bad part about talking about it right away after, because those rankings don't come out till Tuesday. I'm gonna look and see what was she ranked at right now. Natalia Silva is cuter than Tracy. Ooh, that's a tough one, man. 322 will be the last title win of Valentina. Maybe. Maybe. Let's look. Blanchfield was 9. And Tracy wasn't even ranked? What the hell? I could have swore she was. I guess not. Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken that one. But Erin's 9 now. Let's see, where would she move up to? Natalia Silva will school her on the feet. Tracy was 9 and Blanchfield was 4. So what the hell are the? I'm looking at the UFC page right now, and it's showing Blanchfield as 9. Oh, that's pound for pound. God damn it. That's why I'm looking at the wrong one. No, that was the right one. Strawweight fight. Nope, that was the pound for pound. Idiot. Yep, that's what it was. Okay, good. So I was right. Yeah, so Blanchfield is 4. Tracy was 8, it says here, actually. So Tyler, you were right on track. Would like to see Baumgardner here. I don't know how she would do in MMA, honestly. But yeah, so I mean, I would assume, yeah, so Blanchfield, damn, so she's only got Grasso and Silva up ahead of her. I could see that Silva fight happening. Yeah, it's tough. We'll have to wait and see what they do and where she winds up on the rankings after this. But yeah, good fight from the women on that one. And that brings us over to RoboCop versus Roman Kopylov. And you know, RoboCop did his thing and was able to, you know, land a bunch of strikes on Kopylov and bust him open. But I think that's kind of what happens all the time. She should fight Grasso. I think Silva is definitely next for the belt. Yeah. That would be a good fight between her and Grasso, I think. RoboCop is going to get another shot at the rankings. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this fight against Kopylov was good. It was a good one. I didn't really get to watch this one closely because I was kind of running around trying to get stuff ready for the watch party, and I forgot to go back and finish watching it. But I did watch, you know, the last the last bit of the last round was when I actually sat down and started watching closer and not just taking little peeks over. But yeah, it was a good win for him. He was coming off of a win over Jack Hermanton where he got a performance of the night bonus. TKO win in the first round in that one. But Kopylov is tough, man, and he definitely made him work for that win. But that puts Kopylov down to 2 losses in a row. He lost to Paulo Costa in his last fight. Kopylov was number 15 until this week when the ranking next to his name magically disappeared. Oh shit. Yeah, it does say that he was 15. So we'll see. Let's see, what division is that? I can't even remember at the moment. What are we looking at? Middleweight. Let's look at middleweight. Yeah, that's right. It's not showing on UFC's rankings that he was 15, but he was definitely showing it on Tapology that he was number 15. So I don't know. That's weird. So yeah, you got that one right. Yeah, we'll see what happens after the rankings this week. Being that he wasn't at 15 anymore, who knows where RoboCop will wind up. But good win for him there, and that brings us over to Bo Nickel versus Beneil Dariush. It moved on me. Rodolfo Vieira. And yeah, like Tyler was saying, it wasn't much of a crazy fight in the beginning, but everyone will forget about that once you get to that head kick KO. 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the third round. Yeah, I was back and forth on this one too, but I was able to see the head kick KO, and I was like going nuts because that shit was crazy. But Vieira I was thinking Bo will probably do everything in his power to get this win. So being hungry like that with a guy like Bo, I thought he would definitely get the win here. I was not expecting a head kick KO win, but I feel like against someone like Vieira, I could see it happening against him. So I just didn't think that Bo would be going for anything like that. But I guess after the way the first couple rounds went and stuff, he felt confident with that. He did land some other stuff on Vieira here and there. But yeah, so Bo gets the performance of the night bonus on that one, moves to 5-1. At least he bounced back from that RDR fight with a big win, and that's going to instill some confidence in him. Hopefully he doesn't get overconfident again, because we know how he likes to talk about himself like he's the shit, even though he lost. So I'm hoping he doesn't get above himself on that one. It was a fantastic win, but that shit ain't gonna work on higher level opponents, and I think he just had the right opponent at the right time to be able to pull something like that off. So we've seen him drop, what was it, what was that guy's name? I can't even remember his fucking name because he's kind of irrelevant. The other guy that he knocked out quickly in the first round earlier in Woodford, Woodburn. That's his fucking name, Bell Woodburn. 38 seconds into the first round, he got that TKO win. And so then he gets this one, but he had to work for it. So hopefully that teaches him something, and he doesn't get reckless with the striking just because he got this win like this. So we'll see what happens next for him. And that brings us to the main card, starting with BSD versus Beneil Dariush. And yeah, 16-second KO. It was crazy to see the first fight happen that way. I just, man, I was like thinking that Dariush would definitely give Saint Denis a harder fight, but he did miss weight. Beneil has the worst chin in UFC. BSD should fight Rafael next. Are you talking? Who are you talking? Rafael? Are you talking Dos Anjos, or are you? Because I wouldn't think that's who you're talking about, but that was the first name that popped in my head. I'm trying to look. Gamrot. I was thinking Gamrot too. maybe the winner of Armin and Dan Hooker, possibly. These are the ones because I was just kind of thinking, these are the ones that people were talking about, Topuria, and then the winner of Armin versus Hooker. But I did see a lot of Gamrot or Fazeev. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I didn't. Did you make the graphic with the stats? I did make that graphic. That's what I was talking about earlier, adding some stuff in there, just putting some bullet points in there to kind of remember what happened and just to follow along with. But yeah, you know, that big leg kick from Beneil in the very first sequence, I was like, damn, he fucking chopped his leg down with that shit. And I was like, BSD might get hurt with those leg kicks if he doesn't do something, you know, to combat that. And he didn't even have to worry about it because he turned it around and, you know, got that quick knockout. Beneil just swept up the mat with his forehead, which was a little tough to see, just seeing how he looks so damn old, man. I don't know, that's what's tough. Dos Anjos should retire, definitely. I think so. And Beneil's almost at that point too. I think he's tough enough to keep fighting high level opponents, but you know, I don't know that he's tough enough to get like to the point where he's gonna in contention again and really, you know, be able to make it to a title shot. So it's unfortunate. Joe Rogan calling the early stoppage was funny as fuck. I don't remember that because we were probably talking because we thought it was gonna last a little bit further than that, and it didn't. So I think I missed that one. We were too busy yapping it up in here. Anyway, he did call for the title shot or a BMF title shot, which is kind of crazy. I'm not so sure. I don't know why he's so keen on that BMF title, but he likes it and he wants it and he kept talking about it. But he also called for a regular title shot as well. He said either one would be good for him. I'm not sure if he's ready for the full-on title shot just yet. I think those couple setbacks with Poirier and Moicano, he's just working his way back, you know, right now. I mean, he's got 3 wins in a row since that Moicano loss. And they were finishes, so it's impressive. One of them being against Rufy, that was good too. Oh, because we were ahead of you, Tyler. That's right. But yeah, so I mean, I feel like he needs another 1 or 2 really good fights and keep up this little streak he's got going and just show that he's fully away from those couple of losses. 3 to 4 more wins, Johnny? Damn, I was thinking a couple. You're really wanting him to get out there, but I mean, that's fine too. I do think that he does need a couple more fights at least. But yeah, if they gave him 3 or 4, it is what it is. I don't know that, you know, and if one of those happens to be the BMF title, but that could be a bad setback for him if he loses. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they do with him. But I think that this was good for him to keep him going on that winning streak of finishes, 3 in a row, 2 of them having performance of the night bonuses, because he did get one for this fight as well, and he got a quick finish. So you know, he might be able to turn around and get another fight soon. So we'll see how that goes and what they give him next. That brings us over to Carlos Prates versus Leon Edwards, and another crazy knockout here with Leon literally busting his ass after getting knocked out. The shit was crazy. And I had Leon your knockout of the night. Yeah, for sure. It was just a good knockout, man. That's all there is to it. Prates does everything smooth. He doesn't look like the I was jumping around, running around my basement screaming. Yeah, Clark was in here jumping around too. But it was a good knock. It was a great knockout, especially when he looked bored and he looked just stale in that first round. And you know, he's always entertaining, but you know, our entertainment from him is from him being bored and annoyed by the fact that Leon was grappling and had him pinned against the cage and wasn't really doing much with it. But in the end, that won Leon the first round. It didn't matter in the full-on ending of things because, you know, he was able to turn it around and knock out Leon, being the first person to ever knock out Leon, by the way. So that's, you know, and on top of that, like Tyler said earlier, you know, he's been the first person to knock out a few different people. CP is fucking fireworks every time. He sure is, unless he's fighting Ian Gary, because that was not fireworks. But let's see, what was I looking at? Oh, Leon Edwards. Yep. He's only got 1 submission loss as well. So I mean, he's only got 5 losses in his career, or 6. He's got 1 DQ loss too, which is weird. I don't even know what that's from. Probably way back earlier in his career, but we won't talk about the Ian Gary fluke. Yeah, I mean, he bounced back, man. He's bounced back great. Protez has. And I think, you know, he's erased that bullshit. He got the performance of the night bonus here as well. But since he fought Gary, this is his 2nd win in a row. And both finishes, 1 in the first round, 1 in the second. And also 2 performance of the night bonuses in a row as well since that Ian Machado Gary fight. So he just fought somebody who was crafty, and he, you know, it was a bad night for him. So it is what it is. All 6 of his UFC victories have come by knockout. And yeah, looking at what's next for him, CP is gonna be top 5. I can't fucking believe it, man. Yeah. Protez versus Shavkat would be amazing. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at. Shavkat is set to come back early in the early part of next year. But, you know, last time he was set to come back was when other shit went down, and then he couldn't come back again. So it's been a long ass time, and Shavkat needs to get thrown back in the mix. And I'm excited to see how he's gonna be. You know, is he gonna be the same Shavkat? That's because if he is, then it's gonna make this division even more exciting, because I mean, this division is thriving right now. But Shavkat can put a wrench in a lot of people's plans that have been doing well in this division. So that would be a great fight. I think fighting Buckley would be good as well. And then they mentioned, you know, I don't know about that Ian Gary rematch right now, but maybe that makes sense. I'm sure he wants to get that loss back, but I don't know that that's what's good to happen right now. But Shavkat is half retired now. He re-injured his knee. Can't fight someone like Bilal when he loses to Gary. I think CP should fight JDM. Damn, already. I think he needs like 1 more good fight before he gets to JDM. I don't know, but you know what? With JDM losing, that actually does kind of line up. I didn't even think of that one. MVP might be a little back there, but that's what people were talking about. So I threw it in there for fun because I think it would be a fun fight. But I don't know that that's a good matchup right now for Protez. But I mean, yeah, it's just going to have to be one of those things that we wait and see who they give him and what's next. Ian Gary is fighting... Oh, he's fighting Bilal in that upcoming match. So, shit, MVP should fight Colby. MVP's at middleweight now? Is he fully at middleweight? Huh. Did I forget that? I might have. But either way, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Protez. I'm happy to see him continuing to win, especially after everyone was down on him for losing him to Gary, as if Gary's not a good fighter or something, you know. I think he's fought twice there, but I don't know that he's like planning on staying there. I thought he was kind of going back and forth, but I could be wrong. So next up though, this is crazy when you look at the breakdown of things. We had performance of the night with Bo Nickel, performance of the night with BSD, performance of the night with Carlos Protez, and then we get to Michael Morales versus Sean Brady, and you got another performance of the night for Michael Morales as he gets the win here in the first round, 3 minutes and 27 seconds in. Ian got the best footwork, and yeah, he's got that crazy style, kind of Wonder Boy like. Morales needs a title shot. Yeah, so what if he fought Protez though? That was one of the ones I had in here. Bonfim, I think he would murder Bonfim though. Maybe the loser of Bilal and Ian Gary, because the winner of that fight might get the title shot. It seems like that's what I kept hearing them say. So just thinking of it that way, I'm thinking the loser. But yeah, he could quite possibly get the title shot as well. There's a lot to think about with this one, because this division has so much crazy shit going on in it right now. And being that this night was kind of like almost like a fucking tournament of sorts with this division. But it's not as clear cut as you might think. The worst matchup for Islam in the top 5, but Prates and Gary both beat him. Why do you think he's the worst matchup for Islam though? I mean, I feel like, have we really seen Morales get to the ground and get tested that way? I'm trying to remember his 6 other fights. He's got TKO against Burns in the first round, TKO against Magny in the first round, decisions against Max Griffin and Jake Matthews, TKO against Fugit in the 3rd round, TKO against Giles in the 1st round. So in the Fugit, Griffin, and Matthews fight, did we see a lot of wrestling or grappling coming from any of those? I don't specifically remember. But those are the only ones you really had the possibility of, because the rest of them are 1st round finishes pretty much. Either way, he's a beast, man. The way that we were kind of talking shit about his stance, how he was standing. It looked like he was trying to keep himself at the level of Brady, which is, I guess, was smart in the end, because, you know, keeping the hips low and maintaining that range was good. But he, you know, it seemed a little awkward at first, and it's like, man, your stature is so much bigger than Brady, so why don't you stand up straight and fucking make it harder for him to hit you, for one, and for two, you know, start throwing that big frame around. But he did his thing and he got it done, and you know, it sets Brady back, which is unfortunate for him. He's a better wrestler than Prates, and his striking style is better for Islam fight, but Prates KOs him and Gary beats him by decision. Okay. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Shit, I completely forgot what I was gonna say, because that got me thinking. But either way, 3rd consecutive 1st round finish for Michael Morales, and 3rd TKO win in a row, 3rd fucking performance of the night bonus in a row. Now he's beaten the likes of Neil Magny, Gilbert Burns, and now Sean Brady, which Sean Brady, everyone was talking about, should have already had a title shot. Yeah, it's crazy, man. He really set back Brady with that one, and he propelled himself forward for sure. Now we're talking possible, you know, being the best matchup for the new champ and everything. Shit, he's put himself in a good position. So let's hope he doesn't get ahead of himself too much, and let's see what they do with him next, because there's a bunch of different possibilities. So let's get to that co-main event, and that's when the boredom kicked in a little bit, unfortunately. Because, you know, Shevchenko, we've seen her knock people out, you know, the head kick KO against Jessica I. We've seen her, you know, strike a little more. Morales is a freak at 170. Can you mod Tyler Fish? I mean, I could. I talked to someone else about modding before, and he had a big Ecuadorian crowd supporting him. But they didn't come through. I don't know what was up with that, but I hadn't really thought about modding anybody until that point, and then I looked into it a little bit because I didn't even know how to do it. I'm just rolling with myself over here. He's like a Prates, but wait, oh shit. I have seen some of the zesty stuff coming from Morales, but anyway. Moving on to the you mentioned Tyler on the cast before. Yeah, so Shevchenko fucking, man, I was hoping to, I guess it shows how good Weili is to not be getting caught in everything, but also, oh, for a mod, oh, got you. It was it was what was that other guy's name? I forgot what the other guy's name was. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, Tyler, I hate Weili's corner. Yeah, I get that. Tyler, if you are interested in that, we can figure something out. Maybe it might be time to get him on. I don't have that many people in here during the regular shows. A lot of the mod work might have to just be for the watch parties, because otherwise there's not a whole lot going on. We had a little weird thing that happened, and Tyler did save me on that one. Weili, yeah, Weili's strong. I'm jumping back and forth, sorry, but yes, Weili can take the abuse for sure, but and she's tough, but you know, the size difference I think was a big thing. I mean, she got out 50-45 on all three judges' scorecards, and you know, and we saw it. There was no doubt about it. That's what we saw coming out of that fight. Shevchenko now ties Nunes with 11 title wins for the most, or she's tied with Nunes now for the most wins in women's MMA history with 11 title wins. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. But she's been, you know, she's been a champ multiple times, and Nunes was the only person she hasn't really been able to beat. Weili had one good strike, and that's it. Do you want Zhang to stay at flyweight or go back to strawweight? I feel like with Shevchenko there and seeing how that fight went down, she has nothing to gain staying up in flyweight. She has everything figured out in strawweight, so maybe that is not the best thing for her to go back down when she had kind of, I don't even know what that is, Zer 6. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, she's just too small for, I think she's too small for flyweight, but she kind of ran through a lot of everybody in the strawweight division. So we need some more. The divisions aren't deep. That's the problem, and the women's divisions are just not that deep. But she, you know what? She could just go back down and beat Mackenzie Dern, which I'm sure Mackenzie would probably have trouble with Weili. I just don't see her being a refined fighter the way that Weili is in the strawweight division. So Mackenzie Dern will beat Zhang. Oof, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude, I don't know who that is. Zer 6. I don't know who that is. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm not sure who you're talking about. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like it would probably suit her best to go back down. But in the end, I mean, Shevchenko was just too big, too strong. She used her size and reach advantage, and she just kept Weili from being able to throw any of those strikes she normally throws. Like I think Tyler said it earlier. Oh, well, I appreciate that, Zer. Definitely sub if you can. Make sure you at least like the video while you're here. And tell me who the hell you're talking about, because I don't know who that is. Can't wait until Natalia sends Valentina. Oh, Johnny's big on Natalia Silva, man. And you know what? If that happens, then I'd be kind of happy too, because then we can stop seeing Shevchenko dance and we can stop having to listen to her on the mic afterwards. It's so tough. But yeah, Silva or Blanchfield. I mean, people are even talking about Kayla Harrison, or you know, Nunes, the winner of Nunes or Kayla. So I hope Tyler thinks Natalia Silva will school Valentina too. I feel like this is probably the right time. And yes, I'm tired of Valentina for that reason too, because she turned from a killer and an exciting fighter to just a snooze fest, like everyone's saying. So yeah, not sure what's gonna happen next, but Silva, if Silva's next, then let's do it, and let's see if Silva can take that title away from Shevchenko and quit this run. No, Tua, you're a damn troll. Silva would get this boring motherfucker off of our fucking screens. Valentina going to be 38 for her next fight. Evolved. I mean, okay. If you're being serious though, I have heard people say this and I understand, you know, she's fighting in the way that she can neutralize people's games and you know, kind of stay on top, work the positions, but maybe not ever get to the finish. And I mean, I like grappling too, but the problem is it doesn't seem like she's getting to the point where she's finishing people. And I mean, that is the end result, is to get the fight finished. Not just to win because you're laying around and you can. It was definitely a landslide, but that's what makes it worse. Like, yeah, it's a tough one, man. I understand the argument on both sides. I don't know that she tortured her, man. I mean, maybe the torture was that she was so frustrated she couldn't do anything. So I get that. But I feel like it could have been, there could have been a lot more damage done. She could have threatened a lot more. At one point, I thought she got her in that crucifix, and then I was thinking maybe that was going to be the exciting end, you know, dropping some elbows down or some shit. But it just didn't happen. So we'll see what they give Shevchenko next. Is she going to continue this run? I love that a win like this can elicit such a visceral response from the fans. No, I mean, I don't absolutely hate it, but it's rough to watch. That's all. Talia, Alexa, and Manon revealed the cracks in Valentina's armor. Chinese hugging torture got used on. Oh, Jesus. Where were you to save me on your own? Valentina struck on the ground more than Islam did. I will agree with that. Did more work on the floor. I will agree with that for sure. You know, like I said, the Islam and JDM fight, which is what we're hitting next, and I'll just go ahead and move over to that. I mean, that was like the Chimaev and DDP fight, and I do think Valentina did a little more, but the problem is that we had already seen a fight like that, so then we see another one and it just makes it worse. It just sucks, man. It sucks because I was hoping that JDM would be able to not get stuck in the position to have this happen to him. But what did we see in the past of him that would have said that this was going to go any differently? Maybe that's the problem. He was dominant in the way that he was winning before. It is hard to and that's why that style is successful, even though it's not a fan favorite, obviously. Merab, no, see, and I think Merab, I think Merab is getting better at being exciting with what he does. He just might. But I think the division has a lot of shit going on right now, and that leaves it open to a lot more of a probability of somebody being able to stop him. But you never know, because if he works his way through all of these up-and-coming contenders, oof, do you want to talk about GOAT status? Oil checks are effective, but not against Dagestan. Oh my God. Holy shit. Yeah. I don't even know what to say to that one.
Damn, son.
That's nasty.
It's when I start talking with my soundboard because I don't even know what to say. The only fight I want to see Merab in is rematch with Umar. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we're getting that, right? So Gary Morales and Prates only have a chance because they got that reach. But it's a chance, right? Prates and Morales have that awkward punching power. Yeah, but you know, a lot of times the fighters that are like Islam will find a way to nullify that shit quicker than other people would. So that's what I'm worried is going to happen with all that. And that's why I'm hoping that they play out the rest of the division in the way that the proper person gets that next shot. But it's you know, it's tough. It's tough, and I want to, you know, it's not that I want to see Islam lose. I just want to see him get you know, I want to see him get tested a little more and not just have it be this one-sided battle. I don't know if he's invincible, but Morales' only advantage is being big and hitting hard. I still think Islam has way better eyes than Brady on the feet. Close the distance way faster, better timing. Yeah, I can't argue that at all. What is that? Cayman Rider? Yeah. Sorry, your guys' names are weird sometimes. That's why I always shorten them. Like Matua, I just say Tua because it's just easier. But Usman should not get the next shot. I think that's already in though, right? Isn't that what's happening in December? What are you pissed about, Tua? I had JDM breaking Islam's. Oh yeah, he did say that. CP sleeps Islam in one like McGregor versus Aldo. Ooh, that's a hell of a prediction there. UFC Marab. Oh no. Oh yeah, Marab's fighting Yan. What the fuck? I was thinking Usman Yan. That's right. I knew it was a rematch. Morales might be tired by the 4th round against Islam. Yeah. All the dudes get. Oh shit. So yeah, Marab's fighting Piotr Yan. And I think Merab makes it a little more interesting now, and at least there's some excitement, even though it lasts all 5 rounds and it's a lot of wrestling and grappling, but it's not in the same way that Islam and Shevchenko just did it. Pantoja versus Van. I think if Van doesn't get frustrated too early, he has a possibility of making that a fun fight. Pantoja gets hit a lot. He can take those hits, but he gets hit a lot. So Joshua Van might be able to do something in that fight to make things a little bit different. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see. Hold on, let me catch up here. Morales, Book Edwards versus Usman 4. That's a hyped fight. Oh shit. JDM tried everything he could. He trained with Craig Jones. He tried to scramble his ass off. He tried to get back up. He never gave up on himself, but it wasn't not enough at all. Brady got slumped. Yeah, that sucked. It was different from DDP, I feel, where DDP hard way, more lack of jiu-jitsu fundamentals from the bottom, just tried to muscle out of it. Yeah, that's true. That's true for sure. Those are I'm saying in the way that basically the dominant guy got on top and stayed on top and didn't do much else from there. We saw that Chimaev didn't throw many punches from the top, and neither did Islam really. Islam didn't do a whole lot besides just scrambling and for the position and then keeping it for as long as possible. So those were the comparisons I was making. For sure, it did seem like Jack was able to yeah, exactly. Came in for sure. JDM focused on focused too much on defending subs and not enough on getting up. Yeah, but would he have then gotten subbed? JDM was successful at defending the sub attacks. He just couldn't get up in time. Oh, you guys just said the same shit. I think JDM tried to get back. I think he did too. I think that was a bigger difference. DDP just looked like he gave up and just let it be there. Was able to get to his feet, but it took him 3 or more minutes. Yeah, it just seemed like as soon as Islam got him down, even if Jack had a time to get up, he still got thrown back down to lighter man skill man. Oof. I don't know about that one. I think Islam is probably better at this division. It might suit him better, and maybe that's where he should have been in the first place, because he looked pretty bad in some of those weight cuts in the lower level in terms of that strength. Yeah, well, he does definitely look thicker and wider, which is kind of crazy. Islam was shelving JDM's legs. Oh, I thought it was something else. I was waiting for some different kind of comment there. Anyway, 11th fighter to win the UFC championship in multiple divisions for Islam, and he tied Anderson Silva's record with 16 fight win streak, which is pretty crazy as well. Islam looked massive right after the fight. He had a massive pump. Hamzat going to submit Imavov. Islam is the DMX of the division. What? Oh. Losing like this has to be demoralizing than getting KO'd or subbed, because you kind of can't justify. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he just got shut down. That's Tua's just singing a whole song. But yeah, that, I mean, JDM, I'm a little disappointed because I was shit, man. He didn't even defend once. So that's the disappointing part, but it is what it is. Islam gets the win in another division, and we got a new champ. We'll see if Islam can hold it longer than the past two champions have. Oh, Islam's team is the Rough Riders. That's kind of true. I picked Islam by the third round sub after a competitive fight. Yeah, JDM should face Usman. That would actually be a good fight. I think that is a good call, Johnny. I was expecting an actual moment from, there was nothing. And him wincing, I do kind of wonder what that is. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't seen anything yet. Tyler.
That's nasty.
I think that I think maybe we'll hear about an injury or something. Maybe not coming from him, but maybe from a coach or someone else, or maybe he'll just say it himself. But yeah, it was a dominant win for Islam. He gets the title, and that wraps it up for UFC 322. It was a pretty good night of fights. It got a little rough there at the end, but you know what? The knockouts we got to see earlier on was really fun, and we had some good moments in that one. So Tua got JDM finishing Islam in 5 rounds. Yeah, that didn't happen. Who's on? My problem with these kind of questions is I think way too deep into it, because I feel like everybody kind of gives a variation of the same people. All right, Infinity, appreciate you, but it's like, are we thinking of just people I like, or are we thinking of the talented side? That's why I said, and I overanalyze it and think too much. I think it's odd these daggies feel that strong. They're doing this to grown adults, world championship level grown men, but it's like they got cyborg strength. Yeah, that's why people talk shit about the possibility of PEDs and stuff like that happening, but you never know. I just think that they have a different way of training, and I think that they have a different upbringing than we all do, and that brings out different things in different people. So when you grow up having to do some of the things that they do, or being trained from a very young age at a pace that is not like what people do in the US, where it's almost like child abuse if you make these kids train that hard. But and people are too worried about something like that. So these Dagestanis don't care. It's their way of life. So that might be the biggest difference. Nah, but if there were no rounds, JDM would have subbed him. It's like hydraulic pressure. Yeah. It's tough, man. It's a weird thing, but in the end we got a new champ, and we'll see who they throw up against him, and we'll see what he can do. So wrestling is ingrained into the culture the way football is ingrained. Yep, that's a good way of putting it for sure. Zhang should face Tracy next. Ooh, cultivated is the right way to say that. That's actually perfect. It is in their, oh yeah, fuck, that's right. It is in their education system. That's crazy. But it's kind of like Cuba, like what's his name? Yoel Romero was talking about that. How, they it's kind of like, it's like their college to, be just training beasts. So that's what they do. If that's how you're brought up, you're going to be a different type of person. But yeah, anyway, that wraps it up. It was good interacting with all you guys. The daggies need to be checked if they are fully human or hybrid human, and some other species they're too strong. Would you put Islam ahead of Khabib? Ooh, he's getting there. He's getting there. I think if he holds on to this title, defends a couple times in this division, I think that'll definitely cement that that he's better than Khabib. Right now, I say no, just because of the level of opponents he faced in the previous division, and I think that he basically just he's right there. He's on the cusp of being either even with Khabib or better. wrestling does make you a lot stronger, or someone who has lifted for a few years doing wrestling has made me stronger than I ever was. Yeah, it's just a different kind of strength, I think. Islam is way above Khabib. I don't know that that's true yet. Islam KO'd Volk and sub Charles. What more you need? How about guys that didn't come up from lower level divisions? Maybe. I mean, Khabib being undefeated and finishing that way, I think holds a little bit. And you know, retiring as a champ, undefeated and all that. I don't know. I just like Khabib, but I don't think he's top 3 of all time for sure. I don't think I think he has a little more to do before he's considered better than Khabib, but I'm thinking he's well on his way and it's gonna happen. John Pork ahead of Khabib and Islam. Oh shit, John Pork, that shit's fucking funny. All right, man. Oh yeah, I appreciate you guys. Islam just packed up his most dangerous opponent. I don't know about that with the way that he did it. Double champ beat derailed Charles 12 at a higher weight. Yeah. Yeah, we could argue this all day. I just feel like he's almost there. I think he's almost there. He's close. Khabib himself might even say that he's pretty close, if not already surpassed him. I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. I understand where you guys are coming from for sure. So thanks for all the interaction, guys. You guys have been awesome. Tyler Fish as usual. Tua, thank you. I think it's Cayman Raider. Ryder. I keep saying Raider. It's Ryder. It looks like Morales and Prates always have that KO power, so there's that, but that's probably the only chance. Is I'm about to pack up the 170. Yeah. Johnny, appreciate you as well. Infinity, as usual, thanks for coming in and jumping in. The interaction was awesome, guys. Thanks for the good night of talking back and forth, and thanks for coming and checking out the show. Make sure you hit that like button while you're here, subscribe if you're not already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I go live or put out any kind of content. That's it for me. I'll be back on Thursday to preview the Sarukian versus Hooker fight night coming up next weekend. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.